What's going on?
I'm good. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm a little goofy. I'll tell you that now.
Welcome to episode 2 of We Need to Talk. Hey, we enjoyed y'all last week. I'm so excited about this week. I'm here with my wife.
Hello.
As she gets it together, we'll have a good episode. But I hope you liked the last episode. If you haven't watched it, that's episode 11 of The Ladder, episode 1 of We Need to Talk, where we just talk. We have a conversation, and I hope that you learn something, you catch something, and we just enjoying ourselves. And I love inviting you all into this little part of our life. So we got something I ain't cheating. We got something we're gonna start off with every episode. Let's say episode 1. But every episode after this, we're gonna start off with it. It's gonna be called Cooties. And what the basis of cooties is like, you know, when you're young, you think girls got cooties, boys got cooties. Mm-hmm. Girls really the only people on earth with cooties.
That's not true.
But so you don't want to know about the opposite sex. And so there's certain things that you just don't ever figure out. And so we're gonna ask each other a question. She thinks she got something that I don't know about girls. And I got something that she don't know about guys. Okay. And so we're gonna see if we can get it right. Leave a comment, let us know if you got it right. And if you have anything on the opposite, send it to us.
Yes,
you can send it to hopeinkc@gmail.com. That's hopeinkc@gmail.com. If you got anything that you think I should ask her or she should ask me, send it in there.
Yes,
okay?
Come on, I'm so excited. I don't think you're going to get it. Come on, you first.
No, you got it.
Okay, Justin, what is the lock method?
What is the lock method?
Yes, the lock method. LOC.
The lock
He doesn't know. I knew it was a good one.
What is the lock method?
Yes, when you're talking about women's hair, that's your hint.
The lock method. It's a way to wear your hair. So it's a.
This is just a reaching.
No. The lock method is what you ask for when you go to the beautician and you're about to start your locks. Like, so the lock method.
What exactly is the lock method? I'm confused.
What you mean, what is the lock method? I just explained it. Do the lock method. It's a way to do hair.
So the lock method is a way to do locks.
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
That's all I got.
You have no idea. Okay, so the lock method is a way to moisturize your hair. So the L is for your leave-in, the O is for oil, and the C is for
conditioner. Dang it.
First of all, you weren't close, buddy. No.
You said leave-in?
It's leave-in.
Like leave-in, like weave?
Leave-in conditioner. You don't even know what that is. That's what I should ask.
I do know what leave-in.
What is it?
That's when you leave some of your hair free. I know what that is now. When you wear a lace
leave-in conditioner?
No, I know what leave-in conditioner is. I thought you were talking about leave-in weave. I know what leave-in conditioner is. You don't gotta wash it out.
Leave out.
Leave out? Alright, whatever. Alright,
he thinks he knows everything about black women.
I do. She had to search that
I hope you're watching because I'm very proud of her.
She had to search that to figure. Yeah, my little sister.
I hope Jabria's watching.
I know everything.
We'll have her on the podcast.
She just found out what the lock method was today.
I've always used the lock method.
she Googled that before we got on the podcast.
When I had free hair, I always used the lock method because it holds the moisture. But you don't know anything about that because you don't know anything about black women.
Nah, because your hair always dries, so I don't even see you moisturize.
I literally just put mango butter in my hair. I just put it in my hair.
It sounds good.
You know you can smell it.
It sounds good.
You can't smell the mango butter?
I can't smell nothing.
Because you can't smell out your mouth.
I can't smell nothing.
Anyway, what's
you ready for this one?
So Justin has 0. Remember that. He didn't get anything right. Go.
If I am going to change the tire.
Okay. You're going to be so mad when I get this right. I'm going to get it right for sure.
If I'm going to change the tire, what is the most effective type of lift to use?
The most effective type of lift to use when changing a tire is the car crank. The one that you slide under there and you do this to lift it up.
What's it called? It's not called a car crank. Those motions mean nothing. Do you know what it's called?
It's not a jack?
Is that your final answer?
That's the only one I had.
Is that your final answer?
What I described was right.
Is that your final answer?
That's the only word I know because you said I can't say car crank. What is it called?
It is not called a jack.
What's
it's
it
0-0. It's an hydraulic car lift.
I said I I get a point for that, Justin, and you know
You don't
it.
get a point.
Justin,
0-0. You don't get a point.
I don't get a point for that?
No.
Why not?
Because you didn't know the name of it.
I was right.
No, you didn't. What did you say?
I said the car lift.
No, you didn't. See, I knew you were gonna lie. Run the tape back. I knew she was gonna do
I
that.
said this,
I
and I
knew
even
she
did-
was gonna lie.
Was
You
it the
did-
right motion?
you did not say
was it
car
the right
lift.
descriptor? That's the right answer.
You
If
didn't say
this was
car
a
lift.
test, I should get half credit.
No, you should get a 0.
I would take it to the teacher like, you should look at this
And
again.
I wish I was your teacher because I would say, see that F? You keep that.
No.
You keep that.
So if we're being
0%.
honest, Justin has 0. I have 0.5. So
No,
I'm
you
in
have
the
0.
lead.
It's okay.
I don't have
You
0.
said car crank.
And then you
That's
said,
what you
what
used to
is
put a
your,
car
I
in
said the
a
jack. In the
demolition
hood, who
derby.
calls it a hydraulic, blah, blah, blah.
They don't have
Bring
them
me
in the
that
hood.
car
You ain't
jack.
never even seen them.
What it look? What it look?
You ain't never even
Anyway.
seen one.
Cooties is gonna be tough because Justin's a cheater and we
She's
all
0
know
for
this.
0.
So okay.
And we run the tape back. She said,
Run the tape
I
back.
said car lift. And y'all run it back. And she did not
If you
say
run it
car
back
lift.
and I don't say car lift, it's because Justin
Nope.
changed it.
If you
before.
don't say car lift, leave it in the comment. But put this emoji because that means I was right as usual.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so we both lost to Cooties. That's
I
okay.
didn't look. Okay, I'm gonna let
You
it go for the
lost.
sake of the podcast.
Louise, you lost. Just for the sake of the truth. How about that?
I was happy.
Stand
right?
with the truth. See, that's your problem. There ain't no halves, nothing. You were
Yeah,
wrong.
what?
You were wrong. And
Well,
that's
this
okay.
was a trial period of anyway. So this
What
was
trial?
like a practice. If we're being honest, this was a practice question, so that we could get our
What?
mind going and all that.
This is why she can't be on the ladder. I'm glad that
This
we have
actually
this
might
thing.
be a crossover
I'm glad.
episode
No,
on the
this ain't no crossover space
You
on
might
nothing.
also see this on
No,
the
you
ladder.
ain't saying this on nothing. Don't got to do with the ladder. Lord have
Okay.
mercy. All right, you got the topic for today. What are we talking about today?
So today we are going to talk about being black in education and in higher education and in different areas or circles.
Okay. What? So I have a question for my
Okay.
viewers because I'm sure people are listening and they want to understand. When you say higher education, what do you mean?
For me, for the purpose of this conversation, I mean higher education by colleges, community colleges, anything outside of K-12. So I guess secondary education is a better term. So anything outside of K-12.
Okay.
Mostly because that's what I work in now. So
Could
I
it
can't
be-
speak to the K-12 experience because I don't have that.
Are we talking about trades as well, or?
Yeah, like trade schools. So,
Okay.
so anything outside of K-12 and being black in those avenues.
Okay.
Okay, so what's your experience? What do you do now?
Play 2K. 2K20's out. That's my job description. So, I don't know what you.
Okay, so Justin currently is a basketball coach for at a Christian college, and he is one of the. Are you the first black coach here?
No. The first.
Oh yeah, the other
Yeah.
coach was black. Okay, you're the only black head coach here.
No, John is black.
Oh, okay, so you're the black basketball coach.
I'm a basketball coach.
He's black and he's a
I
basketball coach.
happen to be black.
So talk to us about it. Tell us about it.
I think that being in higher education, specifically in athletics, it poses a unique opportunity for black men and black women to pour into young black athletes. Because what happens a lot of times, and I realized this as I look back on my playing career, I played for 2 black head coaches my entire playing career. And I played basketball for 22 years. And so I played for 2 black head coaches. One was my dad. And honestly, he don't really count. Let's just be honest. He don't really count.
Count-ish.
He was the black part, but the coach part is used loosely.
Okay.
And then I played for Calvin Thompson, who's from Wyandotte, went to Wyandotte High School, played at KU, played in the NBA, played overseas. He was amazing. Playing for Pony was really amazing.
he's really nice.
I still look up to Pony today, ask him for advice on certain things. I can call him at any time. So actually, he started a pro team in Topeka. I was one of the first guys he contacted. I was out there and played. Really loved the guy, and like the bond we formed. I only played for him one summer, and so it feels like I played for him my whole life, just because of how close we are still today. Out of all my coaches, I'm the closest with him.
I would agree.
And I think and especially when we talk about coaching at a predominantly white institution.
Yeah.
Which my school is not actually.
No.
It's very diverse.
Yeah.
It's very diverse.
Brazilian.
We have people from Brazil, Syria, Germany, Papua New Guinea. We have people from Texas, Haiti, Nebraska, all these different places that Wanda. Got some kids from the hood too. You know what I'm saying? But all these different places. I think. But so I'm not. That's not necessarily my experience. But I know from going to a PWI, having a black coach would have helped me navigate that a lot.
How?
Because there's just certain things that you don't understand. Like, example, when you move in college, you got to move in a dorm.
Yeah.
Different cultures live differently. And so, growing up in a household with a black mama, we clean all the time. Like, I used to clean just so my mama wouldn't tell me to clean. And so, like, it's just, we expect the house, everything to be tidy, to be a certain way. That's not everybody's upbringing. Especially when you first get to college, a lot of people who it's their first time they ever have to clean up after themselves.
Yeah.
And so, because of that, you know, having somebody to be like, hey, don't kill them. This is how you communicate. It's just different. That would have been very helpful. You know what I'm saying? That would have been very helpful. Like, so I think on the as far as the staff and faculty side, we need way more African Americans in teaching positions and administrative positions and coaching positions and heading departments, heading those things. Not just having a voice, but being able to give a direction to certain stuff because you can feel the difference. Like, you know when someone is a voice, and you know when someone has power.
That's true.
And it helps. For me, I think it would be very helpful for any African American student going to college, or any minority, be Latino or Latina, Asian, Native American, to have a representation with power. So they go to them and say, hey, this is set up like this. I don't know if you know about this.
Right.
And that person go, wow, I didn't know that. I have the power to change that.
Okay.
That is it's life changing for an institution to have somebody with power be able to effectively communicate with minorities and get their needs and addressed.
Yes, I would agree unanimously, of course. So I'll tell you why I want to do this topic for Let's Talk About It.
Girl, you keep touching me. We ain't
Shut up.
Right.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about this specifically because for where I work outside of the Christian college at a local community college, I am the highest point of leadership in my center. But when new volunteers come, or parents who want to talk with me, or even some students, they never assume that I'm like the lead, like I'm the point of contact. If anything happens in center, I'm the go-to for answers.
Yeah. So
they never assume it's me. So I've met volunteers and like shook hands with students and parents, like, oh, I'm Louise. Nice to meet you. I'm glad you're here. And they're like, okay, so where's the instructor? Or who's the lead of this site? And I'm like, oh, it's me. Like, I am. Yeah. But they never assume it.
No.
However, with my counterparts and all of the instructors that I'm over are white women. I think one may be like white. Okay, one may be Latino, but when I see them in the classroom working with volunteers or meeting new people, they automatically assume like, oh, like this is the person in charge. This is who can excuse my absences or not dismiss me. They always assume that. So for me, it's such a struggle usually because of that. And it's like, I don't like having to say, oh, I'm the boss or I'm the leader, because I don't think I should have to.
And I think, and it's so different, especially from like our upbringing, right?
Yes.
So like, we do not give authority to people. Like if you're from low poverty neighborhoods, or you're from places of where minorities exist, we've had so many people who were supposed to be in authority betray us. Yeah. So because of that, it don't matter who you are, Mr., Mrs., whatever, you gotta earn that authority. Or somebody has to tell me that you're in charge. This is your teacher. This is your principal. So you know, like those kind of things. Yeah. So when I meet you, I don't assume that you have power, period. Yeah. So for you to be in a space where people do make assumptions of power, and you're never on the winning side, even though you're actually the person of power. I mean, I know you come home and just talk about how frustrating it is.
Yes, it is. Especially, like, I've had some weird interactions with, it's usually the adults. And they're always like, so if I dismiss a student or make a decision that our program does not fit you and what you're going through, come back another time.
Yeah.
And I communicate that with the student, their parent or the student will say, okay, well, can I talk to the person who can make that decision? I'm like, oh, I'm me. This is, you're talking to her.
Yeah.
And that is the decision. And they'll say, or is there anyone else I can talk to?
No.
I'm like, not at this location. There's no one else you can talk to because this is it.
This is as high as
like,
it goes.
I have a program coordinator that's over the whole program, but as far as in our center, this is my realm of responsibility.
Yeah. I was just watching Lean On Me, and I want to say you the HNIC.
Oh, okay.
I've been wanting to say it for like 5 minutes. I had to decide if I thought it was okay.
But you thought it wasn't.
I did, so I just said it. Yeah, I just said it. I don't know. I just had to go with it.
Like, I just wanted to say that you the H.
Yeah, I've been battling internally.
Should I say it?
Yeah.
And you thought it was
I threw it out there.
Okay, I'm here. We just go.
And so on the flip side, being in, so I think, so I've been to all PWIs. For my bachelor's and my master's degree.
Yeah.
And because of that, I'm considering getting my doctorate, and I'm strongly, almost 100%, going to go to HBCU.
Yeah, you said that multiple times.
And one of the reasons why I want to do that is because I want a different experience in my learning. I want a different learning experience because I think being in the PWI, and I've had good teachers, I've had good experiences, but at the same time, I've always walked in a classroom and counted the amount of black people there.
Oh, absolutely.
I've always been painfully aware of, like, it's only 4 of us in this dorm, in the hall, or and I've made friends very quickly because there's only 10 of, like, I've always,
there's a few of
it's
us.
always been like,
Yeah.
And so I want to go to a place where I'm not counting black people. I'm not, that's not a concern. We all black. I'm just here. I'm learning, and I'm not concerned with did he mean that? How did he say that? What? Yeah, like, is my teacher just calling on me? But, like, so I don't have to deal with none of that, and I can just be free to learn. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't think about or take into account for minorities in a majority space.
Yes.
Is that there is apprehension, there is a little bit of anxiety. Even like me, nobody would ever describe me as an anxious person or someone who is uncomfortable in spaces. But at the same time, that's still something that underlies everything that's going on. I just kill it. I dead it. But like, it is something you're the only black dude in the class. Forget it. Just roll out. Like, just be you. But that thought does still enter, you know? Like, and it's like, how can we, so if I'm a high school student, or say I have high school students, or I have college students, I'm watching this, what advice would you give parents to give their kids, or if you are a college student, what advice would you give these students to navigate these spaces effectively? Because I would say for you, these predominantly white spaces, if they're in higher education. Because I would say for me, when I look at you, I see the gold star. I see the epitome of navigating these spaces effectively, and being highly successful at every level, regardless of being a minority, a double minority, in 98, 99% of the spaces that you're in. And so, can you give some advice to that?
I would say some of the best advice that I've lived by is really, and sometimes I don't like it, but it's true. Like, you have to work so hard to overcome. So, like, Justin, he referenced a lot of the spaces. So right now, I am pursuing my doctorate degree at a seminary. And of course, I'm one of the few black women. I don't know if I've even seen another black woman in any of the classes I've been in. Even the classes I'm not in, that I peek through the window just to see if I can find one.
Well, we have black women in some of our classes.
I'm talking about in my classes now.
No.
So it's like the higher you go, the fewer it's like a triangle.
Yeah.
But for me, which is what I would advise, is like, keep going.
Yeah.
Just because representation matters. So for me, I first of all, I want to finish because I want to get my doctorate degree, because as a black woman, having that degree will open up more doors than me just having knowledge, or because I don't know the right people, I don't know the right place and all these things, so it'll give me access. But you have to keep going because of people that'll come behind you. So as you are thinking about college and graduate school and getting your doctorates, think about you, but also think about those that will come behind you. Because, for example, at our seminary, there are very few black people. Like, it is crazy. It's ridiculous, in my opinion. But for those of us who are there, who were there, we want more to go. Just so that we can say, oh, like black people, we are here. We do care about these things. We are pursuing these same degrees, not because we want to be equal, but because we think they're valuable. So that's one thing. And something else I would say is, as you are at these PWIs, or primarily white institutions, seek out help from those black faculty members and staff.
Because they exist.
Because they exist and they want that relationship. So, for example, here at the Christian college I teach at and Justin coaches at, most of my classes are all black students.
Yeah.
And some of them will meet with me. Some of them will talk to me after class. But I would like for more to.
Yeah.
Just because it's not like, oh, we go form military against the white man. It's more so like, no, like, I understand your experience as a black woman. I understand some of who you are. So tap into that so that you can have support, so that you can have someone that can encourage you as well as see you for who you are. So if you are on those campuses, connect with black people. Like, with every college that I've been to, I've only been to 3.
Only been to 3 colleges. 4 colleges.
Because I transferred.
I've only been to 4 colleges.
I transferred, so whatever.
There's not that many. Some people go to 6 colleges.
Wow.
Or 8 colleges.
I don't know whose voice that is,
but
but
I've
it's
only been to 4.
Your voice is raggedy and it doesn't sound like me at all, just so you know. Anyway, so with the exception of the University of Tulsa, every university I've been to, I've sought out help from black professors. Just because I want them to know, like, I see you in this place of leadership. I acknowledge your hard work and I honor all the things that you did to get here. And because of that, help me. Yeah, help me because you've done it. So I need you to help. Look out for me too. So it builds a professional relationship that encourages both parties, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that was beautifully well spoken. I think you touched on it all. So this is my struggle that I'm at right now. And it is especially in higher education. You just sent me an article yesterday about it. Is the infiltrate versus create.
Yes.
So,
ooh, that's a good one.
African American students, athletes achieving at a high level, attending almost all predominantly white institutions.
Yeah, it's disproportionate, yeah.
When we have African American institutions of education set up. How do we choose? Because for me, like right now I'm coaching. I do not coach at an African American institution.
But your team is mostly black.
Oh, my team is all African American.
You have a couple exceptions, so I said mostly. It's not black. It's not black.
Oh, I was talking about my girls.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about my girls. She counts.
Yeah,
Drop.
I know.
Yep, see?
Drop. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Justin.
No, I would like to see that again.
No, thank you.
Please.
I said drop.
What do you, Lord have? Okay. So, but
I got it. Thank you.
I don't know. What you think? What do you think?
Infiltrate versus create.
Yeah, talk to me.
Oh my goodness, it's so hard because my first thought is, create. Go to the black colleges and universities, but I didn't go to not one.
Yeah.
In part because I didn't know enough about them to want to go.
I didn't go because I couldn't get recruited.
Yeah.
Everything in me, I wanted to go play. I wanted to go to a black college from high school. I tried to go to Grambling State. I tried to go to Prairie View.
Yeah. I remember.
And those are the two that I knew. I knew Grambling.
The well-known ones.
I knew Grambling because my cousin, we were going to try to go there together. And then my big brother went to Prairie View. And so I tried to hit up coaches. I sent film, and they wouldn't recruit me. So for me, I was playing ball. Yeah, I was playing ball. I was the only reason I went to college.
I was going to hoop no matter
I was going to hoop. I told my mom, if I ain't get it, don't nobody throw me no money, mama. I'm be at home with you, moving this crack cocaine.
Boy, you ain't moving
la
cocaine. But this ain't never moved. Okay, I'm not even going to go on the tangent. You almost had me over here.
No.
Anyway, yeah. But that was true. Like, I didn't know. And then when I went going on to get my master's, I ended up going to KU just because I felt the Lord leading us to stay in Kansas City. But even still, I don't know. It's a hard decision because, like I said, my first thought is like, of course you want to go to HBCUs. But I've heard great stories about HBCUs, but I've heard not so good stories about HBCUs.
I mean, we can say the
Just for
same thing about PWIs.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But at the time of me choosing colleges, for what I had heard about HBCUs, mostly as relating to faith, honestly, I don't think that I was in a place to go and still maintain my faith.
I think I would have went.
You would have went.
Wow.
Justin would have been.
I would.
Do it. Okay.
I know God protected me from certain things.
Justin would have been teed up. First of all, at the PWIs, Justin was hurt. Y'all ain't know. Oh my God. I won't go there.
So I know.
Oh my gosh.
That was probably not the best for me at the time. I think I would have found it though. You know what I'm saying? I think I would have been okay. But I know that
the first
coming out of high school, that first year,
I would give you 2 years. Justin, before you got real saved?
2 years.
Thank you.
1.5.
No.
1.5.
I'm going
that
too
first
flat.
year and a half would have been rough. It'd have been rough. That first year and a half would have been rough.
Boy.
It'd have been rough.
You almost made me say the N-word on our podcast.
Please don't.
It would have been the first 2 years.
So, but this my thing is like, even like as I start looking into some doctoral programs, one of the major things is funding.
Yeah.
It's finding funding to pay for your degree at these schools.
That is hard.
Because like even I was reading the article you sent me, like they were talking about how government funding is still being cut from a lot of HBCUs, and that's where a lot of your scholarships, your grants, all that kind of stuff comes from.
That's true.
And so those costs are high.
That was when I did look into HBCUs, only for a brief. I looked generally, but that is one thing I noticed, that they were very expensive with low opportunities for help. Like right now, I pay so little for my doctoral degree. Like it's a flat cost for the whole program, and they break it down by semester. So it's like that's manageable. I can afford that. But the $33,000 HBCU tuition, I'm gonna be in debt for the rest of my life times 2. So I'm already in debt for the rest of my life. So I think that is a deciding factor, because even now, like our niece Kamaya, when we talk to her about college, I always talk to her about scholarships. Like, you are brilliant, someone will pay you to go to college. You are athletic, you're talented, you're all these things that will grant you scholarship and aid, so that when you go to college, you're setting yourself up to succeed, because you're not getting in debt forever.
Yeah, and that's tough, because you gotta make that decision, right? Like.
Yes.
Because you could possibly make connections at HBCU. I know you're gonna make connections there.
Black.
And it's gonna put you in a elite class of African Americans. Like I was reading the article. It's by Jamel Hill.
Yes.
Who's she's an amazing writer. I've loved her as a writer since I found her on ESPN, and I got to see some of her stuff she wrote before she was on ESPN and stuff. She's amazing.
She's really good. If you haven't, find the article.
Some of the stats,
like HBCU,
and I'm gonna throw them out here.
Okay.
These numbers might not be perfect.
Roughly.
But it's like,
estimates.
Although HBCUs only the population only make up 3% of African Americans with degrees.
Okay.
With college degrees. Like, it make up 50% of judges, African American judges, and 60% of African American doctors. 70%.
So it has a high return.
Yeah, so like if you do go to these HBCUs and you make it and you're successful, you're going to be in the African American elite. Like, you're going to be in that elite class of African Americans, because that's what happens there.
But is that the goal, though? Is the goal to be in the elite class of African Americans?
I don't know if it's when I say elite class of African Americans, let me rephrase that. You have a great chance of achieving high levels of success.
Yeah, which is kind of the same thing, because usually if an African American has high levels of success, they are in that elite class.
Yeah.
Even still.
Yeah, that's true. And so that's the hit or miss, right? Because for me, my experience, I know some I know doctors that went to Howard, that went to Clark Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
But I know I got family who's 10 years in the game trying to finish 8 degrees at HBCUs. I got friends and young people that have went And it's like I couldn't do it.
I know, even though, like you said, this happens at PWIs as well.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people.
I think the reasons are different.
The reasons are a lot of people who went to HBCU and then found out, like, I can't handle it after they've been there for a year or a year and a half. They realize, like, it's too much, like the party and the lifestyle. And I've even heard some people complain about, like, what was being taught. Like, everything is taught from this, I'm not black supremacist. What is I'm thinking about? This, black elitist kind of view. But
I ain't never heard that. That's interesting.
What? It's not that exact word, but it's like where everything, like Superman is black. Of course, we know Jesus is not white. Jesus has brown skin. Jesus, all these different things, all these different lenses where everything filters through that. And I'm not saying there's anything inherently wrong with it, but I am saying, is that the best way?
Yeah, I mean that's the question. That's definitely the question that we gotta ask and that we gotta answer. And I don't know. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think.
Yes.
Let
us know.
Because I think this is not a discussion like that we can just finish today. I think there's something that needs to be talked about more openly. And
part 2, 3.
We gotta talk about it with our kids, right? Yeah. We gotta not only because I think what happens is our kids, like especially the people I know that are going to HBCUs, once they're exposed to them, that's the only place they want to be.
Yeah.
But I think we have to expose them at an early age and talk through the process and let them know like this is an option.
Yeah.
But what makes it a good option, and we can talk through it and weigh those things. And I think that's how you kind of go about it.
I would agree, like exposure and letting them choose.
Yeah.
I am pretty big on like individuality and expressing who your genuine self. So that's a form of expression. Because let's say we expose them and they're like, I still want to go to PWI. Cool, you'll join the black student union. You'll still find black people there too.
Yeah.
And for me, sometimes college is about connections and culture.
Yeah.
Just as much as it is about books and tests.
To me, it's more about connection and culture.
Yeah.
And I know you big on education.
I'm gonna go equal.
See, that's fine. That's fine. Education is your thing. Yeah, for me, I enjoyed college for the people I met. I met, the friends I made. Like
that's true.
I ain't tripping on the school
stuff. From college, some of my best friends.
Honestly, no, I ain't gonna say that. But
you so raggedy. You gonna say something? Okay.
School stuff, but I enjoyed the connections. Those are lifelong friends that I've made.
It's true.
And that's what's exciting for me. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think this is it. You got anything else you wanna say?
No, it can wait till the next part.
Hit thumbs up. Hit subscribe.
Like, subscribe.
Turn them notifications on. Share it with your peoples.
Do everything you gotta do.
Leave a comment.
And that's it.
Let me know if she said car.
Oh yeah, we don't have much time left, but please tell the truth. Yeah. We're going to tell the truth.
And even timestamp it for her so she can look back at it.
You don't have to do all that because I think it'll be altered anyway.
No, timestamp it.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our episode of...
Episode 2. We Need to Talk.
Episode 2 of We Need to Talk. I was going to say Let's Talk with the Stricks, but that's not our name. Episode 2 of We Need to Talk. We'll see you next time.
She'll get it together. Love y'all.
Probably not.
Peace.
Probably not.